Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. We are back with another Star Wars Unlimited deck tech, and today we are taking a look at Hera Syndulla. And you might look at this and go, why are we talking about Hera Syndulla? Has there been a tournament or something where she did well and won? No, not that I've seen. I have a personal reason to be building this deck, and that's because I cracked my final box, the box that I was going to save and sell for millions of dollars down the road, or whatever the dream is. And we got a Hera Syndulla Showcase. So we're going to build the deck. Now, if you're familiar with Hera, you'll see that on the box on the left there, she is a Rebel Twi'lek Spectre unit. And you can ignore the aspect penalty on Spectre cards that you play. Her epic action is a 6 resource deploy. And she is green and a heroism unit. On the backside, when you flip, she's a 4/6 and gains the ability that on attack you may give another an experience token to another unique unit. So the unique wording on there is relevant. That means that on all of the Spectre units are unique, and most of the units that we built into the deck are also unique. But the most important keyword on Hera Syndulla is Rebel. The other thing that she shares with all of the Spectre units is that they are also all Rebels. So we're going to be building a Rebel package with Energy Conversion Lab. So we are Hera Green, and that means we've got a lot of fun stuff to do. So let's talk ground units. Our 1-drops are going to be a full playset of R2-D2, because R2 is a tough unit to deal with early because of the 4 defense, and it allows you to have a little bit of card selection when it attacks. You're able to, Magic players call it scry, you're able to scry 1. So you can either leave it on top of your deck or put it on the bottom of your deck. R2 is just a good unit. He also takes counters well, because if you're able to wing leader and make him into a 3/6, that's a powerful unit that's a powerful combination for your turn 1-2 play. So R2 is very good. After R2, we have our first Spectre unit. We are running a full playset of Chopper. When you have another Spectre unit on the board, on the battlefield, Chopper gains raid 1. But more importantly, his Chopper's attack allows you to discard a card from the defending player's deck. If it's an event, you exhaust a resource that player controls. If this is your turn 1 play and you have initiative for turn 2, this can set your opponent back an entire turn. If they held on to a 2-cost, 3-cost hand and don't have a 2-cost, then you take away one of their resources and they're not able to play their resupply or their fleet lieutenant or what have you, and they just have to take initiative and pass. Moving into our 2-drops, we are running a pair of Mah Mothmas because we are looking for rebels. Mah Mothma is a 1/3 for 2, but when she enters the battlefield, you search the top 5 cards of your deck for a rebel card, reveal it, and draw it. Very good card selection, allows you to find a fleet lieutenant or a specific Spectre unit. So we're running her as a pair. Our other 2-drop, Sabine Wren. She's our second Spectre unit. This one can't be attacked if there are 3 aspects among other friendly units, and on attack you can deal 1 damage to the defender of the base. So it's a 2/3 for 2 that swings. Essentially, if you're swinging at the base, it's like it has raid 1, but it doesn't really have raid 1, and you can target that 1 damage to the defender. So a very solid 2-drop here. Moving into our 3-drops, I mentioned it already. We do have Fleet Lieutenant. Fleet Lieutenant is very strong in a Rebel deck because it is not only on curve 3/3, so it's a 3/3 for 3, which is already pretty strong, but when you play it, you can attack with the unit. If it's a Rebel unit, it gets +2/+0. So it's not only an action cheat, it's also a buff in pretty much any deck that it's in, because you shouldn't be running this card if it's not in a Rebel deck. But yeah, action cheating is incredibly strong, and a +2/+0 on turn 2 is also very strong. That allows a lot of the cards in this deck, a lot of the units in this deck, to hit for 5 on turn 2, which is very strong. So 3 there. We are also running a pair of Admiral Akbar, also a Rebel. Akbar has Restore 1, but more importantly, when played, you can deal damage to a unit equal to the number of units you control in its arena. We have more ground units than space units, so this is likely going to be used to take out whatever ground unit is giving you trouble at the time. So we're running a pair of those. Still in the 3-drop slot, we are looking at Ezra Bridger. He is a very strong, he's a 3/4 Force Rebel Spectre. When it completes an attack, you look at the top card of your deck. You may play it, discard it, or leave it on top of your deck. So if you have the resources, you can play it. You can remove it from your, you can put it in your discard pile as card selection, or you can leave it on top of your deck to draw it the next turn. So full play set there. He doesn't have any special synergies with the other Spectre units, but this card is so strong overall. It should be in pretty much every yellow heroism deck. So full playset Ezra Bridger. We are into our 4-drop slots. We are running Cannon Jarrus as a playset. This card is possibly the best Spectre unit for this deck. This one does care. He's a 4/5 for 4, so he's well statted. He takes counters very well from Wing Leader, and on attack you may discard 1 card from the defending player's deck for each friendly Spectre unit, and then you heal 1 damage for each different aspect among the discarded cards. So depending on what you're playing against, he can heal up to 3. Playing against a deck like this, you could potentially heal for quite a lot. There's a lot of different aspects in here. There's potential for some decent healing out of Cannon Jarrus here. Running him as a playset. He's also one of the ones that's good off of Energy Conversion Lab because he's a 4/5, and to have that heal come out of nowhere while you're removing one of their threats, one of your opponent's threats, is also very strong. Potentially the best card off of the Energy Conversion Lab, however, and the reason we're running Energy Conversion Lab, is Zeburillios. We are a Rebel Spectre. He's a 5/5 for 5, reasonably statted. The other 5/5 is Mercenary Company, I believe, and that is a 6-drop. So Zeburillios is a 5/5 for 5, which is good stat line. And when this unit completes an attack, that matters. Completes. He has to survive his attack. So when this unit completes an attack, if the defender was defeated, you may deal 4 damage to a ground unit. So off of Energy Conversion Lab, you can run this guy into something like a Crafty Smuggler that's already had its shield defeated, and destroy that Crafty Smuggler, take 2 damage here, and shoot something else with that 4 damage from his ability. So Zeburillios comes down off of an Energy Conversion Lab as kind of a very strong 2-for-1 potential card. This one's a very good one in this deck. So we run him as a playset. And our final card, because the only non-unique unit on the ground that we run is Fleet Lieutenant, is Agent Callus. We run a pair of Agent Callus. He's a 4/4 ambush for 5, so his stat line is worse than Zeburillios, but he comes with natural ambush. And then whenever another unique unit is defeated, you may draw a card, use this ability only once each round. So if he's ambushing a Greedo on the opponent's side and defeats that Greedo, then you can draw a card off of him. Or if any of your Spectre units are defeated, you can use this ability to draw a card. This is not a very commonly played card right now. I think that ability is fairly strong, but this card just hasn't found a home. And a deck like this seems like the perfect kind of home for Agent Callus. So he is also the only non-rebel in the deck. So he can't take your counters. You can't use any of the rebel synergies with him. However, that card draw can come in very handy. That does it for the ground units. So we're going to take a look at the space units, and if you're surprised by this first one, you haven't been listening. We are running a full playset of Wing Leaders. Giving experience tokens to Rebel units is one of the best things you can do to Rebel units. Wing Leader leaving behind a 2/1 in space is not particularly relevant, but we're playing this for the ability. So playset of Wing Leaders. Playset of Bright Hopes, because Bright Hope is not only a sentinel that can control the space arena for a couple of turns based on its 6 health body, It also allows you to pick up your Mon Mothmas, your wing leaders. It allows, or I'm sorry, not your wing leaders. It does care about being a ground unit, but it lets you pick up your Mon Mothmas, your Admiral Akbars, or your fleet lieutenants. And then if you do that, you draw a card. So you not only get to reuse a fleet lieutenant, but you get to draw a card for your trouble. So Bright Hope is a very strong card in any deck that's running ground units that have enter the battlefield effects, and it helps shore up a pretty weak space arena for our deck. We only run 12 space units, and a couple of them, as you can see, are pretty late game. So we are running a full playset of the Ghost. This unit comes down shielded. When you play it, you can give a shield to another Spectre unit, and when you attack with it, you can give a shield to another Spectre unit. So this one is also very strong off of Energy Conversion Lab if you have units on board, Spectre units on board. So if you have an Ezra down, or if you have a Cannon Jarrus down, you Energy Conversion Lab this in, you get a shield on Ghost, you get the shield for when you play it, you put that on Cannon Jarrus, and then you attack into whatever they have out in their space arena, defeat your own shield off of it, so you're not going to take any damage, and then you give another token, another shield token to that Cannon Jarrus, making him even more difficult to defeat. So this one is very strong off of Energy Conversion Lab as well, and between Zebrilios and the Ghost, those are the two main reasons why we went Hera Green. But we're running that as a full playset, and then our final space unit is a pair of Home 1. Not only do you get to play a unit from your discard pile that costs 3 less, so you get a Fleet Lieutenant out of your discard pile, you get a Mon Mothma for free, you get a Sabine Wren for free, you can play an Ezra Bridger for free. You know, any of our units. You can also play a Ghost for 3 instead of for 6. So that's very strong, and then also it has Restore 2 and gives everything else on your side Restore 1. So this is great for late game healing if you get that far. So those are our space units. We are running 11 space units. That's not enough. We're kind of leaning really hard into Bright Hope to kind of shore up the space side while we establish the ground side. Moving into the events, this is where green kind of shines for events. Rebel Assault, extremely strong in a Rebel package. We're running that as a full play set. It action cheats twice and buffs twice. This is just a very strong card for 1. We don't have anything that enters the battlefield ready, so you can't really set up a turn where you can combat trick yourself into a victory. But if you untap with multiple units, this card is going to do a lot of damage. So we're running that as a playset. The only Spectre event that we're running is Spark of Rebellion. This card is probably the best removal that we have in this deck. We're very limited because we're not playing red or blue, which have the best removal, or yellow really with Waylay and whatnot. We could run Waylay, but it would cost us 5, and that doesn't. Hera's ability does not care about Waylay, but we can use this to take away either their removal or their big threats. Use it to take overwhelming barrages or Vaders or Boba units, what have you. Stuff that's going to come down and wreck your house. You want to try to stay ahead of it. Spark of Rebellion helps you do that. So full playset there. This card's going to be controversial. People either love this card or hate this card. I have found it to be reasonable. We are running a playset of Command. So there's one word on this card that people just hate, and it's on that second pip there where it says a friendly unit deals damage equal to its power to a non-unique enemy unit. That makes this card very situational. You can't use it to destroy Boba. You can't use it to destroy a leader. I understand that that's what they were doing, was trying to make it so that you can't for 4 resources just take the one unit that you've been beefing up the whole game and just use it to one-shot their leader. I understand that's why they did that, but they could have. That should probably just say non-leader unit and not non-unique enemy unit. But it doesn't. So a lot of the times, the two we're using are give 2 experience tokens to a unit and put this event into play as a resource. However, we do have uses for returning a unit, and there are enough non-unique units in the game right now, that sometimes that second ability is just solid removal. It kind of feels bad to use it on like a crafty smuggler or something like that, but steadfast battalion, there are some bigger threats coming out that can hit. So overall, it's a solid card. It's fine for what we're using it for. Any one of the four choices, there's a situation that you could reasonably use it for. So we are playing it as a 4-off. So, and then the final card in the deck, U-Wing Reinforcement. This card has potential to be bananas in this deck. There are Spectre units all the way up the curve from 1 to 6. This lets you hit 7, so you could hit a Ghost and a Chopper. You could hit an Ezra and a whatever the 4-drop is, cannon. You could hit a Sabine and a Zebarelios. Like you could just all of a sudden have a bunch of Spectres on the board and enable the strengths of Ghost and Cannon Jarrus. So very strong card. So that's the deck. If you like what you saw here, go ahead and smash that like button. If you want to find your way back for more Star Wars Unlimited content, go ahead and hit that sub button. If you think I missed something here, think there's a card that should be in this deck or a card that shouldn't be in this deck, or you just want to argue with me about command, leave a comment and let's talk about it. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away, as you fade away. You're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away. Trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathen sky.